Hello, and welcome to our presentation on the Caribbean, presented by Ryan Deyman, Derek Bowers, Cameron Aitkens, Bryden Daoust, and Jessie Gordon. In this presentation, we will be investigating the power production and distribution systems utilized by the Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago.
The capital city of Dominican Republic is Santo Domingo. There are approximately 10.3 million people living over 48,600 square kilometers. Dominican Republic is the second largest Caribbean country next to Cuba. Main industries include tourism, sugar processing, ferro-nickel, gold mining, textiles, cement, and tobacco. The power system in the Dominican Republic uses 110 volt AC at 60 Hz. The primary energy source is imported fossil fuels, such as crude oil, natural gas, and coal. Secondary energy sources include products made from crude oil. Domestic sources include firewood and some hydro. Currently, there are 3,000 megawatts of installed capacity for electric generation. Thermoelectric power is responsible for about 82.5% of the overall production. The rest is made up of mostly hydroelectric generation. Eytkens is the largest generator of electricity in the Dominican Republic and currently operates 11 generation units at 8 plants. It has a nominal installed capacity of over 800 megawatts, representing greater than 20% of the Dominican system's total capacity. On September 22, 2013, Eytkens and Barrick Gold inaugurated the Cascava Power Complex, which is the largest ever in its kind. The complex is currently online and operational and delivers a 430 megawatt capacity.
The Bahamas is made up of more than 700 islands, of which only a small amount are developing and being lived on. The population of the Bahamas is 377,000 and over two-thirds of that population lives on New Providence Island. The electrical use in Bahamas is 5,493 kilowatt hours per capita. The total installed generating capacity is 493 megawatts. The Bahamas relies almost 100% on imported fuel to produce their energy. Generations consist of 75 megawatt steam plant, 2 gas-fired plants producing 35 megawatts, and many diesel plants. Electricity is distributed by 16 isolated island grids. Common outlets in the Bahamas provide 120 volts AC at 60 Hz. Uses North American ungrounded, also known as Type A, or North American grounded, known as Type B.
Jamaica is the fourth largest island in the Caribbean with a span of close to 11,000 square kilometers. It has a population of 2.7 million people and greets close to 2 million tourists each year. Major industries on the island include oil refining, sugar and tobacco processing, as well as the production of rum, metal, and telecommunications equipment. Jamaica's standard supply voltage is 110 volts AC at 50 Hz. The island has a capacity of 1.175 megawatts of installed capacity, 95% of which are produced through the burning of diesel and other fossil fuels, 2% through hydroelectric plants, and 3% through wind farms. Because of this, Jamaica has produced 9.56 million megatons of CO2 emissions. Jamaica's estimated electrical consumption is 3 billion kilowatt hours at a price of 42 cents per kilowatt hour. A newly proposed natural gas-fueled power plant has just been given the okay in Jamaica, which after completion would provide 381 megawatts to the system and would become the largest power plant on the island. The facility will take 26 months to complete and will provide Jamaica with a much cleaner source of power.
Trinidad's population is approximately 1.2 million, including Tobago. Their capital city is Port of Spain, and they are 5,128 kilometers squared in size. The industries are natural gas, oil, petrochemicals, steel, and methanol. They are the world's largest producer of methanol, which is a solvent that can be used as a fuel. They are the leading Caribbean producer of oil and gas and are heavily dependent on these resources. The gas industry appears to have many years ahead of it, with oil reserves standing at 605 million barrels in 1999. The frequency used for Trinidad and Tobago is 60 Hz, and the outlet power is 115 volts. Primary socket types used are A and B. Trinidad and Tobago are one of the 3 countries with no hydroelectric potential. Common transmission lines used are 132 kilovolts and 366 kilovolts. The frequency used for Trinidad and Tobago is 60 Hz, and the outlet power is 115 volts. Primary socket types used are A and B. Trinidad and Tobago are one of the 3 countries with no hydroelectric potential. Common transmission lines used are 132 kilovolts and 366 kilovolts. Trinidad and Tobago has a capacity of 8,876 megawatts. 8,843 megawatts are produced using natural gas and 24 megawatts are produced using oil. The major power stations are the Cove Power Station, which has a capacity of 64 megawatts. This plant was commissioned in October 2009. It reduces present transmission losses and also reduces the dependence on diesel fuel. Second is the Power Generation Company of Trinidad and Tobago. The power generation was established on December 23, 1994 as a joint company. Its capacity is 1,344 megawatts. It operates 3 major power generation plants. Point Lisa's power plant, which has a capacity of 838 megawatts, the Port of Spain power plant with a capacity of 270 megawatts, and Pinal that has a capacity of 236 megawatts.
Caribbean Utility Company Limited, known locally as CUC, commenced operation as the public electric utility in Grand Cayman, the largest of the 3 Cayman Islands. In May 1966, the company currently has installed capacity of 150 megawatts, and the new record peak load of 102 megawatts was experienced in June 2010. They provide a safe and reliable electrical supply to over 27,000 customers. They have been the only provider of electricity in the Cayman Islands for the last 45 years. CUC relies upon diesel generation to produce electricity for the Grand Cayman. The island has neither hydroelectric potential nor inherent thermal resources, and the company must rely upon diesel fuel imported to Grand Cayman, primarily from refineries in Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. The fuel is transported by pipeline from supplier tankers to the power plant. CUC's power system comprises of 19 generation units, 18 diesel and 2 gas turbines, which combined capacity of 152 megawatts. The company system is comprised of 8 major transformer substations, approximately 302 miles of overhead high voltage transmission and distribution lines, and 14 miles of high voltage submerged cable in the Grand Cayman. The transmission and distribution lines and the substations are designed for high winds and flooding that might result from hurricanes.
All of the research countries provide a voltage between 110 and 120 volts AC. The only outlier being that Jamaica provides its voltage at 50 Hz instead of the standard 60 Hz like the rest of the islands. Trinidad and Tobago is the only country that does not rely so heavily on fossil fuels to produce its power. Instead, it uses natural gas. Most of the islands in question have an installed capacity between 500 and 9,000 megawatts, but the Cayman Islands is only able to produce 150 megawatts, and Jamaica is able to produce 1.2 million megawatts, despite it being smaller than Dominican Republic. None of the islands export any electrical power, but all import a relatively small amount annually. Geographically, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and the Dominican Republic are the only countries with any form of hydroelectric potential.
A limited factor of development in some countries is a lack of funding that is spent on other projects and resources. Projects in Jamaica point to less emissions through additional wind farms and natural gas powered plants. Trinidad is currently implementing a new digital metering system which allows the providing companies to meter their customer service from their head office.
Recently, the CDEEE of the Dominican Republic was given confirmation that they would be allowed to build a new coal-fired power plant in Punta Catalina. The building will cost close to $2 billion and be completed within the next 3 years. Plans for wind and solar farms are also being considered in the Dominican Republic, as well as Jamaica, the Bahamas, and the Cayman Islands.
Hope you enjoyed our presentation, and thanks for watching.